Here in Lewiston, anglers can often be seen out on the Clearwater and Snake Rivers at the Washington-Idaho border, where fishing is a popular pastime. But Kyle Mackey of the Idaho Wildlife Federation, it is also about staying rooted in the Pullman community. And the proof is in the pastry. So good. Craney said 111 people used the SRC parking lot behind me for football parking during week 1 against Idaho. 57 parked according to the rules, but 54 were warned or ticketed for not checking in properly at the front desk. And that one took me about 1:37, which is like almost a full minute slower than Evans Karui, who could run it in about 45 seconds. Safe to say, Karui's fast. To get that access, make sure to scan one of these QR codes scattered around the SRC lot. That's where students and members normally pay after exceeding their 105 free parking limits. Also, make sure to note your license plate number on the app and when you go inside and check in with the SRC attendees, and that's where they can give you a code to waive that $25 football parking charge on college football Saturdays.
Now let's go down to the court and get some coverage. Connor?
I'm here in Bowler Gymnasium as for the Cougs' electric 3-0 sweep of the Eastern Washington Eagles. The Cougs got off to a hot start in the first 2 sets, winning 25-16 and 25-11 in dominating fashion. The goal now isn't just to keep enrollment steady, but also to see growth going into the future. And leaders say that starts on getting students to campus here where they can see what life as a Cougar really looks like.
But we're seeing some unprecedented things this year that are kind of making our normal rules kind of go out the window.
Last week, Idaho Fish and Game and the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife put temporary closures on the harvest of wild adult fall Chinook salmon, a species that migrates from the Pacific Ocean up the Columbia River and into the Snake and its tributaries. The Chinook are a cold water species, so historically high water temperatures for this time of year have slowed their migration, said Chris Sullivan.
About 20% fewer fish than we would normally expect to reach Idaho are going to make it there this year under the current conditions.
Those temperatures have risen from the mid to upper 60s range that is normally comfortable for the salmon to the low to mid 70s in Fahrenheit.
And then once it gets to about 70 degrees, like room temperature, that starts to become stressful, and lethal temperatures for salmon are about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So they'll just die in water that's, if they're in water that's as warm as, say, an indoor swimming pool for a long period of time.
As the temporary harvest ban continues, biologists and fishery managers will continue to monitor the waters and will revisit this decision on Friday. Here in Lewiston, anglers can often be seen out on the Clearwater and Snake Rivers at the Washington-Idaho border, where fishing is a popular pastime. But Kyle Mackey of the Idaho Wildlife Federation says that communities in smaller rural areas will be hit harder by fall Chinook declines.
You can almost feel the excitement in some of the towns when there's a bunch of fishing. There's more people on the water. There's people in town. There's, restaurants are full, and that would start to dwindle, and these small communities would, I guess, just be really hurt by no fishing.
Christopher Caudill from the University of Idaho said that he is even more worried for the spring Chinook, who have already seen declines over the years, but he said climate change is affecting all types of salmon.
That salmon population dynamics are really tied to climate. And so in years when the young salmon hit the ocean and conditions are relatively warm, survival is really low, and a couple of years later you'd have fewer salmon coming back.
For Chris Donnelly from the WDFW, this harvest ban is a sign of what could come for the whole region.
This is sort of the window to the future of what the Columbia River is going to be dealing with in terms of elevated water temperatures during fall migration periods in the future.
The day is just getting started, but the smell of sugar and butter already fills the air at Pullman's newest sweet spot, Flower Power Bakery.
Started, and I spent my entire first day just peeling apples and chopping apples for apple pie. And at the end of the day, even just doing that, I was like, yeah, this is great. This is what I want to do. Owner Michaela Heisler didn't grow up baking, but after that baking itch hit after graduating from WSU, what started as a side project in her apartment turned into a business selling cakes to WSU families, and later a booth at the Moscow Farmers Market. It was always like in 5 years I can open, in 5 years I can open, and every year I was saying that, and then kind of in halfway through my first Moscow Farmers Market season, it was like, oh, this could really happen.
Heisler says moving from a farmer's market to a downtown bakery is more than just about growth. It is also about staying rooted in the Pullman community. And the proof is in the pastry. So good. Her vibrant designs and unique decor reflect her personality and the creativity she brings to every pastry.
I was definitely worried as I was like putting unicorn fabric on the wall and painting everything pink, and I was like, is this too much? Like, am I am I being too much right now? But I was like, no, this is how people know me. I haven't tried to hide any of this.
Local business owner Melissa Johnson has been ordering from Heisler since 2021, when she was still baking in her apartment, and says Heisler not only makes delicious sweets, but also cares about the Pullman community.
I think she has a heart for philanthropic work in the community too. I was doing something when we had a really low budget for foster kiddos in the community, and I asked her if she would donate baked goods, and she did.
For Heisler, baking allows her to send a positive message.
And I have a sweatshirt that says baking is my love language, and like as cliche as that sounds, it's true. Like, it's kind of how I show people that I care, that I love them.
That's the kind of flower power keeping Pullman a little bit sweeter. Connor Seuferling, Murrow News 8.